There's a story etched into the fabric of humanity, one so universal yet deeply personal that it feels as though it's written into the essence of our souls. It's the story of trying to escape the past, to fix what's been broken, to heal the wounds that linger in the quiet corners of our hearts. But what if I told you that healing isn't about fixing at all? Imagine standing in a river. The current pulls at your feet. The water rushes around you. You can try to hold on, to resist the flow, to fight the current with all your might. Or you can release, surrender, and let the river carry you. Healing is much the same. It's not about swimming upstream or forcing the water to flow a different way. It's about learning to flow better with what comes. Life has a way of reflecting back to us the parts of ourselves we most need to see. It often does this through patterns, those frustrating loops where the same events, the same emotions seem to play on repeat. It's easy to feel trapped, as though life is conspiring against us. But what if that loop isn't a prison? What if it's a mirror? The loop repeats because there's something it's trying to show you, not as punishment, not as a cruel twist of fate, but as a call to awareness. Each loop is an invitation to shift, to respond differently. The lesson embedded in this pattern is like a key waiting to unlock the door to your next transformation. And the first step is this: acceptance. Acceptance is where the alchemy begins. It's not about condoning what has happened, nor is it about resigning yourself to suffering. Acceptance is the simple yet profound act of seeing things as they are. When you stop fighting what's in front of you, the grip of the loop loosens. You begin to see clearly. The pattern is not the enemy, it's a guide. It doesn't want to hold you down, it wants to teach you to rise. This shift in perspective doesn't change the external circumstances immediately. Reality takes time to reflect the mental and energetic shifts, but it creates a new opening. By accepting what is, you make space for what can be. As you flow with this newfound acceptance, something remarkable happens. You stop reacting out of habit, and you start responding with intention. The situations may initially remain the same, but your energy begins to shift. Imagine encountering the same challenge that once triggered frustration, fear, or anger. But this time, instead of reacting the way you always have, you choose something new. A softer response, a deeper breath, a moment of reflection before action. These small intentional shifts ripple outward, creating a new dynamic. The loop loses its power because its fuel, your old reactions, has been replaced with a new kind of energy. Here's where the magic deepens. Every time you choose a new response, you gather evidence for a new story about yourself. Think of it like feeding a fire. Every action, every choice adds fuel to a new flame. This fire is the energy of becoming, the gradual accumulation of a new identity. At first, the old story might still hold sway. The narrative of limitation, pain, or failure may whisper in your ear. But with each new choice, the weight shifts. The old story begins to dissolve, overshadowed by the growing energy of the new. This is not a quick fix. Reality reflects the inner world with a delay. It takes time for the new energy to gather mass, for the external world to mirror the internal transformation. But it does happen. The more you feed this new identity with choices aligned to your highest potential, the more the outer world reshapes itself to match. It's tempting to justify the old story, to cling to the past as a source of meaning, as a way of explaining who you are now. But justification is a subtle trap. It keeps you small, tethered to the very narrative you long to escape. When you stop justifying and start flowing, you release the need to define yourself by what happened. You begin to see the past not as a defining weight, but as a stepping stone. As Peter Crone so beautifully puts it, the past has no meaning unless your ego is using it as evidence for something that isn't working in your life today. True healing is not linear, it's a spiral. With each turn, you ascend higher, circling back to similar themes, but meeting them with greater awareness and new energy. Each response, each choice builds upon the last, adding to the momentum of your transformation. Eventually, the energy of the new self-concept outweighs the old. The narrative of limitation fades, and in its place, a story of empowerment takes root. This is not just a mental shift, it's a full embodiment of a new frequency. And as your energy shifts, so too does the world around you. This is the art of transformation, not fixing the past but flowing with the present, responding with intention, gathering evidence for a new identity, and allowing reality to catch up. It's the process of becoming, not through force but through flow. The loop is not your enemy. The past is not your prison. The flow of life is always inviting you to step into your potential, to create a new reality from the energy of who you are becoming. And as you accept, respond, and evolve, you don't just heal the past, you transcend it. You become the architect of a life that reflects your highest truth. The story shifts, the spiral ascends, and the river carries you into the vast potential of who you were always meant to be. This is the art of flowing beyond the loop. This is the alchemy of transformation. Remember, shadow work is not about staying tethered to the darkness. It's about illuminating it. It's the art of creating awareness around what shaped you, what happened, what you believed, and how you behaved because of it. But awareness alone is not the destination. It's the bridge. The true transformation happens when you take that awareness and infuse it with aliveness, choosing intentional actions and crafting new responses. This is where you reclaim your power, not by endlessly analyzing the shadows, but by stepping boldly into the light of possibility, alive with the freedom to create something new.